Great rising, great rising, great rising. Welcome to the Morning Success Show with Shalena D.I.V.A. I am so excited and so happy that you have decided to launch your mornings here with us today. Okay, we are super, super, super excited. I cannot wait for us to just launch into our mornings this morning. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. I hope that you had a fantastic holiday weekend, a fantastic Memorial Day, that you remember those who have fought for our freedoms and that you shared your time with family and friends. Okay, I am super excited. I cannot wait for us to launch our mornings this morning. So, welcome, welcome, and welcome some more. Okay, you guys. So, you know, I am Shalena D.I.V.A, and you know how we launch our mornings. We launch our mornings with prayer. So I have a very special guest this week who's going to be leading us into prayer. So I'm going to ask Sister Angie Lee, Miss Angie Lee, if she would lead us into prayer this morning. So Angie, if you could lead us into prayer this morning, I would really truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I just want to say thank you and still recovering from the Memorial Day weekend. So, dear Lord, as we usher to the throne, dear Lord, my Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you this morning. Dear God, thank you that we are above ground and gate. That's giving us another opportunity to keep on going and, dear God, to seek after our dreams. Dear God, I want to just touch a Shalena right now. Dear God, thank you for being obedient, dear God, and pushing through any restrictions, any limitations, dear God, and any obstacle that may have came against her, dear Lord. I'm asking you, dear God, to restore her tenfold back to where she was. Dear God, but I'm asking you for even your listeners, dear God, that still feel themselves as being stuck. I'm asking you, dear God, send a spirit of release, dear God, to be able to know, dear God, that if they have another chance to look up, they can get up, dear God. I'm asking that anything that's coming against them, dear God, in their health, in their finance, dear God, in their life, that's stricken their mindset, dear God. I'm asking you to touch and agree right now, dear God, that it shall be done, dear God, that you are a man and you shall not lie, dear God, to give them a sense and a spirit of abundance, dear God. I declare and decree right now, dear God, whatever they stuck in, dear God, I'm asking you right now, dear God, to give them a spirit of prosperity. Give them a spirit of overflow. Give them, dear God, to set them on a platform of positivity, dear God, and mute and deaf anything, dear God, that's coming up against them, dear God, to cause them to be stagnated and not keeping their eyes on being gratitude, dear God. In your holy righteous name, amen.
Amen, amen, and amen. Angie, thank you so much for opening us up with prayer and for sharing with us this morning. We really, truly do appreciate it. Everyone, like I said, I hope that you had an amazing Memorial Day weekend and celebration. I had a very interesting one. I had a great weekend and I spent the time with my son. It was my weekend. I really, truly enjoyed it. And I thank God so much for being around family and for being around friends and for just taking the time out to just enjoy life. I really, truly, truly do appreciate it. So thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, as Angie said, she asked God to restore me, but I want him to restore her. I want him to restore all of us, right? I want him to restore all of us, everyone, as we get back into the swing of things, get back into the flow. Some of you going back to work, right? I thank God for that. So the next portion of the show is dedicated to praise reports, prayer requests, and testimonies. So if there's anything you would like to share, anything you would like us to hold you up in prayer for, all you got to do is type it in the chat, everybody. All you got to do is type it in the chat, and we will definitely hold you up in prayer, and we will definitely, shout you out in prayer, and we will hold you accountable. So I am just so super, super excited, everybody, just for today. All right. So I'm going to start with what my praise report, my testimony is. Before I do, everyone, could you please like, comment, and share this video? Spread it. So many more women especially need to start getting in the habit of launching our mornings and not just rolling out of bed. So if you could help us to spread that word, that would be good. My praise report, everybody, is I thank God for growth. I thank God that the things that used to bother me and used to overtake me and cause me to go in a downward spiral, I don't, they don't have that same effect on me anymore. And I shared this, I don't know where I shared this, but I think I shared this on Facebook, a Facebook Live. I said that, people always say prayer changes things, but I'm here to tell you that prayer doesn't always change the circumstances. Prayer is meant to change you, the person who's praying, so that things that used to affect you don't always affect you and show you the power that you have. And so I thank God so much for changing me. I thank God so much for helping me to mature, because a lot of my circumstances have not changed. And in fact, when I look out over some of them have gotten a little worse, right? But I thank God that I'm able to hold on, and I'm able to live my life and do what I'm supposed to do. And I thank God for wisdom. So shout out to everyone, Great Rising. Hey, who told you that? It's good to see you too. So everyone, I am super, super excited about it. I thank God for my life, my health, and my strength. I thank God for helping me to grow and to learn and to teach me maturity and different levels and everything. And so I'm just giving God all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise that is due to him. I spent time with my son this weekend, you guys, and as a non-custodial mother, it used to be really hard not always being able to spend as much time as I wanted with my son. But I thank God for getting me through that time and for helping me to become a better mother. So I wake up with gratitude in my heart. I just thank God so much for what is to come. All right. So all of you who are listening, if you're in the chat, don't be passive. Type in the chat. Tell us what you're grateful for. Let God know what you're grateful for. Let the world know what you're grateful for, because the more grateful you are, the more things you will become grateful for. All right. So I'm going to ask Angie if Angie can tell us what she is grateful for, or, what's your prayer request, your praise report, or your testimony this morning. Angie, if you can share that, that would be awesome.
Yes, ma'am. As I'm writing my book and doing the final touches on it before I send it to the publisher, at 11:59 on Thursday, that's my deadline and my goal. I realized I had to go back to Facebook in order to see like some of the highlights of my life over the journey of which I had started the book. And I am just so thankful that God saw fit to allow me to get over to endure. And I know you heard that scripture that God give the race not to the fast, not to the swift, not to the strong, but to the one that endures to the end. And I am so thankful that I'm able to, number one, write the book through my trials, my tribulations, and my challenges, and to overcome so many things that I thought I was going that should have killed me. Being able to overcome some of the things that were very hard for me to endure. When I wrote the book at that time, I hadn't got back with my husband, but I was still optimistic. And as I was writing that part of the book, I had to go back and kind of edit it. And I told my husband, I said, I'm not going to talk about you because I'm writing the book and I'm publishing it as is. But it would delight me to see that part of my life, I was able to put a check mark in that area, that I was no longer looking for love in all the wrong places, that I was no longer feeling incomplete and inadequate because of my choices. I was no longer able to validate my love life by these guys as I was given the opportunity to have a piece of me in order for me to lose myself just because they rejected me. I am thankful, Shalena, and thank you for the opportunity.
Amen, Angie. What a powerful testimony, y'all. I cannot wait until Angie's book comes out so you all can learn from her. Just such a powerful story, right? Such an amazing story. And I'm so glad, Angie, that you're writing a book and you're going to honor it and you are going to release it. So I am super excited and happy for you, girlfriend. All right. So those of you watching, listen, stop being passive. Type in the chat. Let us know what you're grateful and you're thankful for, okay? And if you're not used to it, get in the habit of at least 5 things. When you get up in the morning, what are 5 things you're grateful for? Write them down. And what you're going to find is the more things you're grateful for, the more things that will happen in your life for you to be grateful about. Yes, so from the smallest to the largest thing, is no such thing in size. What are you grateful for? Let us know. All right, so the next segment of the show is dedicated to the I Am Confession. That's where we consciously and deliberately create the kind of lives that we want, because we know that whatever follows the words I am must come looking for us. Okay, so here's how it goes. It doesn't matter what your mama said, what your daddy says, what the CDC, that's the Center for Disease Control, says. It doesn't matter what society says or statistics say. All that matters is what God's word says and what you are big, brave, and bold enough to believe about yourself and walk out. That is what your I Am Confessions are all about. So I'm going to go first. Then Angie's going to share hers. Here are mine. I am bold. I am brave. I am clever. I am ingenious. I am intelligent. I am fearless. I am courageous. I am a phenomenal wife. I am an amazing mother. I am a loyal friend. I am who God created me to be. I am a phenomenal business coach. I am a world changer. I am Shalena D.I.V.A. All right, that's how we do our I am confessions here. So if you want to share your I am confessions, all you got to do is type it in the chat, okay? So Angie, if you can share your I am confessions, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am. I am a leader. I am an influencer. I am financially free. I am bold. I am changing lives. I am a multimillionaire. I am the owner of an account that's in overflow. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am a New York Times bestseller that's working, sitting at the table working a movie deal off my book. I am a negotiator. I am speaking on the platform of several high profile people. I am a mother and a wife of an amazing son and a handsome husband. I am Angela Lee.
All right, all right, all right. Listen, this is something I always say, especially to my ladies. If you're around a group of friends who they cringe when you start saying your I am confessions, or you start talking over your life and what you want to be and what you want to become and what you're willing to put in the work for, if they cringe, if they start feeling uncomfortable, you need a new set of friends. Because I really pray over everyone who's tuning in. And if you catch the replay, what I pray is that God will put you in an environment where you can grow and where you can be around people who aren't jealous of you, but they really want to see you grow. And I notice that jealousy can be a natural tendency for some people, but I'm really praying for many of you that those that are closest to you, God will put you around people who want to see you win more than they want to see you lose. And in fact, the people that God put you around, they don't want to see you lose it all. But you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be around people who, some people are okay with you as long as you're not doing better than them. Some people are, like I said, they're okay with you as long as you are not doing better than them. They're okay as long as you're still struggling. But as soon as you come up, as soon as you get a breakthrough, they begin to feel uncomfortable. You don't need people like that in your life, especially not in your inner circle. Not in your inner circle. So I pray that God fortifies your inner circle. And sometimes, your inner circle might look like a triangle, but that's all right. But I pray that those around you will be there to support you. And it'll be people who won't be jealous or intimidated, who really want to see you win. Okay. All right, you guys. So the next portion of the show is dedicated to the tip for the body. And I always tell people this, and I'm going to keep telling you this. Make sure you're drinking your water. I noticed these last couple of weeks of me drinking my water, I have been so much stronger. I've been thinking clearly. A lot of the anxiety and different things I had, it's been waning. I've been doing more things to really help myself and to do the things that I needed to do. So make sure you drink your water. Even if you want to put some lemon in your water, drink your water. Some of you may be infusing water. That's okay. Make sure you're just drinking water. I know we like the juice. I know we like the soda, but we just put those things down for a bit and let's pick up some water. And here's a rule of thumb with water. You want to drink half of your body weight in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to drink at least 100 ounces of water per day. You want to sip it throughout the day. All right. Our body needs water, y'all. Our body needs water. So make sure we are drinking water. That's my tip for today. Okay. So we're going to do a different kind of show today. It's Angie and I today. And I wanted to talk about how to fulfill your dreams. And I wanted to share some of the life lessons that I've learned along the way. And if Angie could chime in, if Angie could share some of the life lessons that she has learned along the way, I think that would be good because there are different things I can speak to, but I am developing and evolving. And I wanted to share just some of that insight as well. So if you're still rolling with us, definitely type it in the chat to let us know. Okay, so we are going to talk about fulfilling your dreams this morning. Okay, so Angie, I told you it was going to be a little different, little special today. So it's going to be Angie and I, and we are going to talk to you today about how to fulfill your dreams. So I'm so excited about this, Angie, because it's you and I, and
Okay.
we both achieved success. We both had our struggles, but we both overcome them. And so I think it would be really cool for us to kind of open up to the viewers and just kind of share some tips we've learned along the way. So I will start. We can definitely piggyback. We'll definitely start. I know there are certain things, everyone, that I want to get out to you. And let me just state that first. The thing I want to say before I forget it, right, is this: when it comes to fulfilling your dreams, here's here's one thing. Actually, this was a revelation that I got today, Angie, when I woke up this morning. Because, like I said, I had a VIP day yesterday. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I manifested a VIP day and what that was all about, right? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. But this morning, it wasn't so much I was tired because I got a good night's rest, because I was really tired last night from my from yesterday, because I actually worked yesterday. I didn't celebrate yesterday. I actually worked.
Okay.
It was that your dream or your vision, it has to become bigger than you. It has to be bigger than you, because if not, it'll only be as big as you are. Let me break that down. Your vision has to become bigger than you, because if not, it will only become as big as you are. What that means is this: if you only put in the work when you feel like it, you're only going to create or achieve things when you feel like it. If you don't develop the discipline that says, I'm going to show up even if I'm tired, I'm going to show up even if I'm hurt, I'm going to show up and I'm going to serve no matter what, because this is bigger than me. And let me tell you, what got me out of the bed to just say, all right, Angie, let's do this morning, was I thought about the people who would tune in. I thought about Angie, and I'm like, I can't let people down. And let me caution you, I don't live my life like everything I do is for other people. I promise you, I don't live that way. But you get to certain visions that God gives you and certain dreams and everything, and it's like other people are dependent upon you to show up.
Yeah.
Whether, some people, they need to hear from you. They need your brand of coaching. They need to read your book. They need to hear your song. They need to hear your sermon. They need services from your company. It doesn't matter. They need you. So because of that, you have to push and you have to show up and do things even when you don't feel like. That's the number one thing that stops a lot of people, is we do things only when we feel like it and not doing what we said we were going to do. So that's my first nugget: is your vision or your dream. If it doesn't scare you, if it doesn't stretch you, then it's probably not a worthy dream or a worthy goal. And I try to do things that are worthy of me, meaning they'll stretch me. So if you have a goal that's not really stretching you, is it really worth it? You gotta think about it, right? And then on top of that, if it's only about you, it's probably not a worthy goal. Because as long as it's about you, it'll only become as big as you. So if it's like, well, I don't feel like doing it today, you got to break that habit, because you won't really create a whole lot of things. So it has to become bigger than you. Whatever it is, what we start talking about fulfilling a dream, it got to be bigger than just you. Because there's going to be days you're not going to feel like it, right, Angie?
Oh, yes.
Going to be days you're not going to feel like it. Going to be days you're going to be like, no, whatever. So the first thing, before we get into writing it down, before we get into any of that, and we're going to go over the tips like that, remember, it has to be bigger than you. People say, what's your why? However you want to term it. But I say, if it's only about you, it'll only be as big as you. And a lot of you have big dreams like we do, all right? So you can't only show up when you feel like it. All right, Angie. So they just realized that they got to have a bigger dream. Like, it has to be bigger than them, right? So a person has a dream. What's the first step you would tell them? Like, we just qualified the dream. What's the first step you would tell them?
That once you have already acquired the dream, and I'm just going to piggyback off what you said for a few minutes, because as I was writing a portion of when I went to visit Bishop T.D. Jakes in Canada, he said that you should have a dream so big that when you say it, people giggle when you get ready, when you tell it. When you tell it to somebody, they should giggle when you mention it. And he said if you should have, your dream should be so big that your checkbook can't validate it. And that's when he said, if it's a dream that you can do on your own and you don't need no outside help, then it's not really a dream, because it just don't make sense to call it a dream, because in reality, you're able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, it's supposed to be big, it's supposed to be crazy, and you're supposed to be surrounded by people that is smarter than you. They know they are your weakness. That's how he put it. He said you should surround yourself with people that's your weakness and not be intimidated. So once you got this idea of the dream, you write it down to see, how can I allow myself to complete the dream?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my vision board, the architect part of it. That, I know I want to be this talk show host. What do I do and how do I get started? If I don't have the money, I'm not in Hollywood anymore, in California anymore. What can I do with what I have right now?
Right. That's a big one. And so Angie's saying that once you get this dream that people laugh at, like, you want to do what?
Yes.
Or is it like crazy? Like, what? You're on the right path. And then you got to humble yourself and get around people who know more than you, and who can point you in the right direction. You have to do that if you want to grow, right? And then, so I love TD Jakes. TD Jakes is so wise in a lot of the things that he says, right? So you have this dream, right? You're like, it's big, it scares me, it's worthy of me. I'm going after it. And one thing I want to tell you about a worthy dream or a worthy goal, right, is this. The goal isn't so much about the money or getting the house or getting the job or getting that relationship. It is about who are you becoming in the process of getting that job, that relationship, earning that money, starting that company. Who are you becoming? What is it making of you? That's when I talk about a goal that's worthy of you pursuing, right? And then you're like, all right, it scares people. It's going to challenge me. I had this mastermind. That's what Napoleon Hill calls it. I have this mastermind. I have people around me who are smarter than me. That's why Angie said people who are your weakness, meaning the areas that you need to develop in, the areas that you're not that strong in. You get around people who can help you shore up your the gaps. People who can help you, say, hey, I have experience in that area. I'll be more than happy to help you. Hey, everybody. Hey, Cynthia Benson. I'm just tuning. Hello to everyone. Great rising to everyone tuning in, right? Then here's what I want you to do. Once you present your plans to God, I want you to write them down, right? And in the Bible, it says, write the vision, make it plain, so that he that reads it may run. Now, one time when I read that, right, I started giggling myself because I got a different interpretation of that I had never heard anyone say before. And it was like, okay, write the vision, make it plain, so that he may run that reads it, right? Well, they could run in two different directions, though. And I was talking to a client about this yesterday. I'm going to tell you about this my day yesterday in just a second. But I said, a lot of times you're not getting as far as you need to go. You're not getting further because remember, you're only going to be as powerful as you are. You're only going to be as smart as you are if you don't go out and you don't seek help, right? And if you don't write the vision down. First of all, many of you are not writing down your goals. How many of you write down your goals? If you write down your goals, type goals. If you don't, type no in the chat, right? So for one, you don't write them down. And I like to say that it's like writing down goals in your journal is like giving your dreams a birth certificate. Write down the date of when the idea came, right? And it's like you're giving your mind something to work towards, right? So you write down the goal and you want to often read it, right? And then the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain so that he that reads it may run. Well, the person that's running, right? Like my client yesterday, we wrote down her vision, we wrote everything out, we came up with plans. She knew what she had to do. And she's like, now I feel like I can run. Why? Because now she has direction. So when you write things down, you have direction. When you present it before God, and when you get in your mastermind, you now have direction. Because the thing is, you could be running real fast, but if you're running in the wrong direction, what point does it make? That's like in your car and you're running, right? If you're in your car and you're running, Ange, are you doing something in the background? Are you typing or something? Okay. All right. It was like picking up crazy noise. So
I hear it too. I thought it was you.
Oh, I thought it was you. No, I'm not doing anything. So, all right. Anyway, I don't know what that noise is. Not either one of us. So the thing is, we want to write down our goals, right? Write down our goals, and then once you write down your goals, you want to get in your mastermind. But you want to give your dreams a date. But the thing is, you want to give yourself direction. Where am I going? So my client yesterday was able to now run in a good direction and achieve things simply because um, she now has a sense of direction. The other side about he that reads it may run is when some people find out what you're about and really what you want to get into, right? They may run the opposite way and be like, I ain't signed up for all that, or she'll never achieve that, he'll never achieve that, man, they crazy, and they'll run the other way. So you really want to just really write down your goals. You really want to honor your goals. You always want to look at them. So you want to write them down. You want to present them to God, and you want to look at them every day. So a big portion of achieving your goals is you gotta write them down. You gotta get in front of that mastermind group, right? And then once you do that, you want to look at that goal. You want to look at those goals every single day. So Angie, what is your next tip?
Like you said, you have created it and you came up with it for your idea. Now we have put it on paper, so now we can see it and being able to write it down in order to execute. Now we need to get into, like I said, putting yourself in alignment to start to execute. Because if you keep on saying it and you talking, I think Eric Thomas said it best. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. And my husband, he said it to me tonight before he got off the phone. He said, Angie, stop talking. Get out the phone. It's time to stop talking. It's time to show up. And I know he's saying it to me because I have been talking about this book. Shalena know I've been talking about this book. And I got into that depressed mode. And so when obstacles came, I allowed somebody that, one lady that was trying to publish the book, I allowed her to discourage me because people kept telling her, no, they didn't like the name of it. And so I went in depression. So I'm saying, like, as Shalena said, when you write the vision, you make it plain. And then, I use that chatter, as Shalena was saying, that people saying, she gonna do what? Those are the naysayers. They are challenging you. And because you put it out there to the universe, now you need to wait till that law of attraction, bring it back. Just like being on the beach. When I started writing my book, I was on the beach out in California. And Shalena remember when I told her this, that the wave came and a drunk lady told me, you too close to the water, a wave is gonna come. But I did not trust what that drunk woman said. And it came, and Shalena know when I posted that picture, the wave came that far up on the beach. It came that far up and washed my papers away. Washed my papers, my laptop, I had my speaker, and that just reminded me, be very careful who you underestimate is being able to tell you something, because go ahead, use her, and God will give you what you want. But when that lady came stumbling across, little white lady, stumbling across, and I'm thinking, of course, the water's not coming this far up. And I just was adamant about it. And lo and behold, it washed my wave right away. So when people are talking to you, take advice from the least expect, write it down, and consider it. At least consider it. I didn't even consider it. In order to get yourself in alignment, for you to execute.
That I remember that story, Angie, and that was hilarious. Like, Angie has such great stories, and I hope they make it in the book. But it's true. Like a lot of times, people say, "Oh, if you broke, you can't tell me nothing. If you a failure, you can't tell me nothing." Mm-hmm. One thing, and I don't agree with that. Now, of course, people who earn money are there and they have advice for you, right? But also people who they broke, they could teach you some things too. Maybe not in the way that the person who's rich can, but maybe that broke person is teaching you what not to do. Like that lady was trying to tell Angie, and if she old drunk and shriveled up on the beach, probably had on her bikini, she she lived her life on the beach. So she probably knew what she was talking about, right? And a lot of times people say, well, don't listen to this person, don't listen to that person. Listen, you become a student of life and you begin to take it, just kind of tune in, right? And what applies, applies. You know, if it applies, it applies. If it doesn't, let it fly, right? So we want to really begin to just be wise and stay open, you know, and don't think that we know everything. Because clearly, Angie, she knew more about the water than you. And Angie's like, ah, whatever. She don't know nothing. Can't tell me nothing. She don't know nothing. And she actually did, right? So we do want to humble ourselves. And when it comes to execution, everybody, this is something I want to share with you. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop thinking that things have to be so perfect, and stop comparing yourself to other people. Those are the main things that will stop you. And a lot of successful people, I read this recently, and it was true. And they said this, they said, if the first thing that you create, if you're very, very proud of the first thing that you created, then it's too late. Like you've done it too late. You waited too late. And you're like, no. Shouldn't the point be that whatever I create is perfect? It should be like, no, because a lot of you are perfectionists. How many of you are perfectionists? If you are, type perfect in the comments. Like, you don't want to put something out unless it's perfect. You don't want to do something unless it's perfect. You don't want to say something unless it's completely perfect. If that is you, then I'm here to tell you that that's the wrong attitude. You have to put things out there. You have to put things out there, right? And it's not always going to be perfect. And you have to become comfortable with the fact that the first time you're doing something is not going to be perfect. So Angie, how do you feel about like the first time you do things and you're going to have those jitters, you're going to have those fears? How do you overcome that, Angie, and just like go for it?
It is, you have to do that positive self-talk. I think, you know, and I'm gonna use you because I've been, you know, in your environment long enough, and I used to sit in envious of you because I'm like, it worked for Shalena. Then I started making excuses. It worked on Shalena because she's in Philadelphia. Then I went a little further, you know, worked for Shalena because Shalena went to Duke University. So I end up talking myself off of what I know to be true. So, you know, when you said those particular tips, that's exactly right, because you end up getting distracted, worrying about being in your lane. And I had used a cliche that when a horse get out the saddle, when a horse is getting ready to be at the Kentucky Derby, they have those masks on their face, but they also use blinders. And so when I went in to the Millionaire's Ranch, because that was my first time actually being on the ranch where I was around a real horse. And so when I went into the stable, I asked the lady, I said, do you have the blinders? Because I really want to take a picture of it so I can use as an analogy on it. And she said, well, Angie, the people that keep the horses normally be the ones that apply the blinders on. And they normally use that for the horses that race because they don't want them to get distracted. So they know if they get distracted, they are quickly to rear off. And I was like, that is what I want to use, you know, so I had to go and Google that particular picture of a horse that have this mask on, but they have those little flaps on the side of it. It's blind, where they call them blinders. So they cannot they have to be tunnel vision, and that's how they able to perform in the Kentucky Derby, because they have these masks and they laser focus on what it is that they want, because if they have any inkling of what's going on, they get distracted and they cannot perform. So that's my advice.
Yes, putting on blinders. And I want to talk to y'all about that because when I put on my blinders, it's like I turn into a different person. I don't care. I don't care who's to the left of me, who to the right of me. I don't care. I really don't. And when you are going after your dreams, you cannot care about, like, you're wise. You see the landscape. You see what's going on, but you cannot be concerned with this person is doing, with that person. You really just have to focus on what you're doing. And that's tunnel vision. And the crazy thing is when I get in my tunnel vision, when I get in my bag, it takes a while for me to come out. And that's why I need to surround myself with people who like have other things going on so they can feed it into me. Because it's like, yo, you got a goal, you have something you want to achieve. Come talk to me, holla at me. We gonna get it done. Because I can get very laser focused and get tunnel vision. But the point that Angie is bringing up is like, for one, with me, with being tunnel vision, I don't do a lot of multitasking. I just can't, because I need to finish what I need to finish, and like I can only concentrate on like one thing, right? So a lot of y'all like to do a lot of this multitasking. Really, really assess how much of that stuff do you actually get done, right? And then also too, you compare yourself to other people. It's so funny. If we were to ever be honest, right? I would like to do something where it's like a live event and women can be honest and be like, I compare myself to her and I see what she has going on. And because Angie, the same way you see what you say, well, Shalena's in Philadelphia and Shalena has this or whatever, that's why she could do it. I can easily say the same thing. Like, well, Angie's son is older and Angie doesn't, remember before you got married, like her son is older, she can just pick up and she can just move. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You never know. Oh, she can just pick up and move and go to California. Mm-hmm. And she could go to the BET thing. She can go to this thing because she could just up and go. Mm-hmm. So you never know what it is about your life that other people are looking at like, dang, man, like comparing themselves to you. Mm-hmm. Everybody has that. And if people say, oh, they don't, well, praise God that you have evolved from that because a lot of people do. And it's the funniest thing. And you're like, huh? And I'm here to tell you that when you have to plan and your dreams and your goals, right? When you're determined, you're going to win with the hand that you're dealt. When you are determined to win and you just determined not to give up, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Reverend Ike says, disrespect the fact. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is going on. I'm still going to get it. Or I'm just not going to give up, right? Because you have on your blinders and you're not comparing yourself to other people. And you really are. This is the next point I want to make, Angie, about when you have a dream or a goal, it's not based upon your current circumstances. Mm-hmm. It's really based upon what you want. Now, how many of you know how to dream in spite of your circumstances? Angie, how did you learn to dream in spite of your circumstances?
I really think when the opportunity came, I looked at my life as a failure. When you do that self-evaluation, I looked at my life that I had failed. I had failed at marriage. I had failed at really trying to get my life on the path, but my son was my motivation. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to try to make it right after all these failed relationships, these situations that I was putting myself in that could have killed me or could have had me locked up. And once I seen that it was opportunity to get to California, and I thank God because I didn't even want to be a nurse. Nursing was not on something that I planned for. But I believe if it wasn't for me eating lunch every day when I worked, and this lady was a white lady named Miss Jill, and she came in there and she was telling me, she's like, Angie, I would wish you would go to school for nursing. I said, no, I already signed up for radiology. And she said, no. I said, when I can go and I do medical assistant. She said, no, do nursing. Just in case. She said, go to LPN first then if you feel that way. She said, just in case you like it, you can go back and become an RN. And I was like, oh, okay. So she already had put the vision there because, like I said, and like you mentioned earlier, you are who your environment is. I wasn't thinking nursing on my radar, and I didn't go back to nursing school till I was 28 years old. I had started college like at least twice and, didn't make it or where I got distracted and quit. So now this lady was, she was pumping me up and, she was giving me something to aim for. And just every day we was on lunch, she kept talking to me, and she was in nurse practitioner school at Clemson. And so I never got the opportunity to see her, to let her know that, what my life had become because she had already graduated and moved on. So one day I was in the mall and I ended up running into Miss Jill. And she said, Angie, what are you doing now? I said, you remember what you told me? I'm a traveling nurse now. And at this time, I done failed nursing school twice. The stumbles or obstacles of life didn't happen. And when I told her that, her eyes were just, she just was glowing because she didn't know God put her there in order to be a refuge for me. Mm-hmm. So, when you surround yourself with people and people can see the life in you before you see the life in you. Yes. And so because she did that to me, people that don't look like you, people that don't talk like you, people that's not even the same demographic area as you can already pour into your life. And because she did that, I am thankful to her that when I was in that mall that particular day, and I had been a nurse at that particular time 3 years, and God gave me a time to let it come full circle for me to be able to share it with her, to let her know what she was to me. So that's what I can say, that once I became and somebody believed in me, and I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, Shalena. They don't have people in their corner to be a cheerleader. We have so many naysayers and so many people that don't think you can do it and telling you the reason why you can't do it. You end up succumbing to the chatter in the box. And I feel like, that lady, Jill was for me, helping me get on the line, letting me know that I could do it, and having myself as her as a role model. So because people are, they didn't come to the trailer park, and that's my background. They didn't come to the trailer park. So where was that image of me being successful was going to come from?
Yeah, you cannot be what you cannot see. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna type that you can't be what you can't see. And so my whole point is that with your circumstances, right? When you have a dream or goal, you don't have to base it upon your current circumstances. Like when I was homeless and I was living with family members, I had a cheerleader, I had a mentor who said, hey, it's very noble to desire to have your own place to live. It's very noble. He kept saying noble. It's very noble to have your own place to live. It's very noble to have your own. You should desire that. And I was like, but like, I don't have any money. I'm going off my current circumstances, right? I don't have it, but he kept saying it's very noble of you to desire that. And he planted that seed, and I'm like, wow, he's right. It is noble of you. It is noble to want to have that. And the Bible says, think on these things, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are noble, of a good report. And then I started thinking about all my training and all the things I was learning, like focus on what you want, not on what you can't have, not on why it won't work, but what you want. Don't you know you got to be bold and crazy to focus on what you want in spite of your circumstances? Like when they told me they diagnosed my son with autism, it seemed like a death sentence that they gave us because they didn't give me a lot of hope, right? Mm-hmm. But my training teaches me focus on what you want. My baby is a Rhodes Scholar. My son is a scholar. My son is intelligent. I know what God told me. And holding on to that and desiring that, even when I would go to these meetings and professionals would tell me, no, 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 but still pouring into my son. And to look at him now, he has his individual education plan, his IEP. But Casey, and with that, Casey gets all A's and like 4 B's. He's a great student. So every day, every way, my son is growing stronger, smarter, wiser. But it's because I was focusing on what I want, not what society was telling me. When I was homeless, I started focusing on what I desired. And I got what I desired in spite of my circumstances. So all that, I don't have the money, I don't have this. Don't you know God will provide? God will put you in people's hearts to help you, or you'll get a raise on your job or something. Your needs will be met. And I'm not just saying like money will fall out the sky, or you'll find it. It could happen. Look, I'm open to, I love to find money like that. But because you focus on what you want, because you focus on the goal, because you focus on the desired outcome and not why it's not going to work, you'll find that you'll achieve things more by focusing on what you want. As we're kind of wrapping this up, one thing I want to talk about that a lot of people don't talk, and then you want to be consistent, right? Things y'all heard. You want to be consistent. You want to show up. As Angie has, I love Angie's husband because he keeps it real. He told her, you better put that phone down. You better start showing up, doing what you do, right? All right, we get it. The flip side that no one really talks to us about success is the kind of downside that comes with it. The fact that, let's just say you just you tune into these calls, you get into Angie's coaching program, or you get into one of my coaching programs, and you're like, yes, you start believing in yourself, and we pumping you up, like, yo, you can make it. Hi, PM, you're like, you can make it, you can survive, like you can create your dreams, and you start bossing up, right? How do you handle the people who are the closest to you, who were there with you, down for the struggle, all of this stuff, right? What do you do when they start feeling the kind of way that, she's starting to earn money, all those dreams and stuff she had, they're starting to come true, and they start flaking out on you? How do you handle that? So this is the last part of the call. I want Angie and I to kind of give you some tips, because Angie, will that happen? Have you experienced that?
Yes. Yes. And I think as you elevate, you're going to start separating from the people that you were familiar to. And as you elevating, the good thing about it is God will already have people there to help pull you up to be able to kind of gravitate to you in wherever it is that you're trying to go. When I was out there in Hollywood, you know, my friends was actress, and I'm thinking like, God, you know, I didn't even have this for myself. But because I flew to Dallas and he had me in unfamiliar territories, and I kept asking God, why do you have me here? Why do you have me here? And I went to after that, you know, segment, I went back to my hotel room and I cried. You know, I told my mom, I said, Mom, why would God do me like this? Why would he set me up? You know, I moved to California thinking I was pursuing a dream, only for him to send me to Dallas to try out for this acting thing, you know, and I never even thought about it. And I felt so much like I felt isolated. But even though I was down on myself because I couldn't understand, and I still don't know all the pieces to the puzzle, but I will when God turned this book into a movie. It's all going to make sense to me. That's the reason why he needed me to know the lingo of how to produce this movie, because I know it now, what I didn't know. Is trying to pursue the dream of acting. And he would have people there. And so some of my friends, I was what I was around. When I was out there in California, it was nothing for me to meet a producer. And I was getting all like fanned out. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But then I had to realize, Angie, look where you are. You're not in South Carolina. Producers are not in South Carolina. Well, you know, not in the area that I was in. And as I expanded my territory, I knew God already had people there, and producers was inboxing me. They was inviting me to a rap party. Shalena, I didn't know what a rap party was. Even when I went to Sue Ham was the only one from South Carolina that I had as a role model. So even when I asked her, she said, I guess it's, you know, the weight loss product. I said, okay, well, you know what? I said, well, we'll find out. So my son, I didn't have enough money, and we got in like a little cheap hotel because I stayed 3 hours away. Got in that hotel, and I could have invited my son, but like I said, I didn't know where I was going. And when I got there, people embraced me. The rap party was the wrap-up season for the series of the sitcom. Yes. So you see how my, a total different alignment, totally out my comfort zone. Yeah. I knew nothing, but when I got there, Cedric, the entertainer, was there. Some other people off the TV there. I was around actors and actresses that I didn't know, and producers. And this producer that invited me, he was acting like he was no big deal, and he was really a big deal. With a Bentley sitting out front. And I'm thinking like, wow, how did I get here? So, Shalena, you exactly right. As you start elevating and people was watching my movement, they couldn't understand, how did she get blessed with that opportunity?
Right. And so you have to brace yourself for that. You have to brace yourself for people who see your light because you're shining bright, and they're naturally going to be attractive. But then once they feel like they've gotten all they can get and use you, they'll move on. You got to be prepared for that too. And after a while, you begin to see the signs of it. And then you got to learn how to create your boundaries. You got to learn who to share your dreams with, who to share yourself with. You're going to have to learn how to do that, because I don't want you to be, a public success but a private failure. Like, when I first started earning the money in my business, not first started earning it, but when it was a part of my business where I figured out a system of how to, really earn money, I felt uncomfortable because I felt like guilty. Because I'm like, man, I got this system set up where if I'm depressed, if I don't feel like it today or whatever, I can still get paid. And I'm like, there are people like my parents and my family who they got to get up in the morning. They got to get up in the cold. I felt bad. And if you feel uncomfortable with money, you're going to create problems, because you got to have a good relationship with money. So make sure you're reading money books, mindset money books that help you with your mindset when that money comes. So you know how to handle it and you know what to do with it. Like, that is really, really important, right? And it's funny, I told God, I said, I want a do-over. It's time for me to have a do-over, because I view things differently now. And I view things differently. And also too, you guys, success is going to take a lot of you challenging yourself, moving past your fears, getting over a lot of things. But the flip side is the rewards and the blessings are like phenomenal, you know. And for me yesterday, I was told you guys I was going to tell you about my yesterday. So Saturday, KC and I, we went with my brother Sean and we went to a pool party. KC had fun. It was probably like the best day of the weekend. Right here in Philly, it was. We had terrible weather. Well, not terrible, it was raining. And a client asked me for a VIP day. And a VIP day is 6 hours of us working together and creating. And she was like, you know, I need this VIP day. And she's a hairstylist. So Mondays are her free days. So she said last week, what about Monday? This Monday good? And I'm thinking, wait, isn't that Memorial Day? I said, it's Memorial Day. She was like, oh yeah, that's right. I said, but I'm down. I mean, you know, Casey was going back to his dad or whatever. So she's like, all right. And she came back. And let me tell you something. Before I went to bed last week, I sincerely prayed for her. I sincerely prayed for a couple people. I called them out by name, like, give them the direction. And it was like a sincere, like, God, remember Angie, give her the direction. And I called out this one client's name, give her the direction. And she popped in my inbox like, hey, I need to do the VIP day with you, whatever. So I was just thinking about all the ways I can help her and just being happy about it because she was you know, up in the air like she didn't really know. Well, you guys listen. You can become as valuable as you want to become. Mm-hmm. So my VIP day, 6 hours is $2,500. And it needs to be paid before we do it. Ain't right. See how Angie just giggled? And some people might be like, what? $2,500 to talk to you? It's funny. I can't get some people in my life to talk to me worth a dime. They won't even talk to me at all. But yet still have a person over here willing to pay me $2,500 to talk to me. And it's not just, we do more than we like work. We get stuff done, you know? So, and she's in a different state, so we use technology. And so I'm like, okay, and she came back because I was listening to Reverend Ike talking about focusing on what you want, putting things out there. And I saw me and her having a fantastic VIP day. She came back, paid her money in full. And so I spent yesterday coaching her. And I looked back at that, y'all, and I marveled. I said, you know, a couple years ago when I first started, I charged $2,500 for 8 weeks of working with me. I now charge that for 6 hours of my time. And I just look at like, keep honing your craft. Keep working on yourself. Keep believing. And other people might be like, I ain't willing to pay that to talk to you. Fine. Listen, I don't need that many people to say yes to that. Shoot, give me 4 people a month. That's $10,000. Do you really think I care about you? Like, I want to talk to me.
That's right.
And the thing is, you can write your own check. What Angie is doing, she can take her story is good. Turn it into a movie. You can do what you want. You can put a value on whatever it is that you want. You might not want to be in a business or whatever it is you want to do. You tell life what you want and be willing to put in the work, and life gonna give it back to you. If you don't put a value on something, you're not going to be that valuable. You're not going to get a lot of value out of it. And that comes to thinking bigger. Like, who is she to be like, you know, I'll be like, you know, who is she to think that she could charge that much? Who am I not to? Who are you not to? And that's why you got to get around people who think small and want to limit you. They can dream big, but not you. That's not cool. And Angie would tell you, be around me, Angie. What you want to do? How can I help and support you? What you need, Angie? You be dreaming bigger. You're very, you know what I mean? You're bigger than that, Angie. Go for it. So, Angie, what are some final words that you have for everyone who is like, you know, trying to fulfill those dreams? Like, encouragement or something you wanted to add and say?
Yeah, I feel, and I also want to add, even if you don't have the money right away, get in the environment of people that is making money. Get in the environment for following Shalena, because as you looking at Shalena and you want it, you are who you hang around. My husband talk about it all the time about being around, you know, certain people, and it makes you want to do, you know, something other than nothing. And like I said, Shalena, when I first joined you, I paid like over $2,000. and I did nothing. I barely showed up. But when I got serious, when I started looking at, and, you know, and I keep talking about, oh, you know what, you know, I really want to trade in my scrubs for trading my stethoscope for a microphone. And I kept telling myself that when God started shifting and God closed a door on a job, I knew I had no more excuses. And I had to just go all in. And I think when I shifted that and I stayed, even when my notifications wasn't going off, I was getting discouraged. But my husband kept telling me, Angie, you doing the work. It's impossible not to get paid. And you keep doing the work. And he stayed in my ear. And by the end of March, that notification went off in March the 28th. I still know the day. I still know the date. So that would be my advice to anybody that even if they don't have the money, be following you. Follow people that of who are wherever to go they're trying to get to. Go and check your competition out. Go and be in environment. See what they're doing. See what hashtags they using. So therefore, as you saying it and you're not looking at them as envious, you know, one day when I look at Oprah, I know just like she was doing that commencement speech, I know one day, Shalena, that's gonna be me. Mm-hmm. I just put my eyes on it, and you know, I just filled out a application for a speaking coach. I was looking for this doctor, and she's gonna be speaking. So when I went to the conference, she's gonna be speaking at anything it said need speaker. I filled it out, and when I went to fill it out, it said no entry level speakers. And I said, God, you know what? I'm showing up anyway. Ain't nothing entry level about me. So I am claiming that I will be on this stage with that doctor on October the 27th here in Atlanta. I am claiming it. And I was like, God, I might not have all the credentials and all the credentials behind my name, but I am going to show up as Angela Lee, the metamorphosis coach that's transitioning lives.
Yeah, you go for it anyway. And this is my one thing for me, and this is coming from a person who is slightly an introvert, kind of shy in some aspects, don't really like a lot of the attention that goes with certain things, definitely not the hate, right? Is you have to become confident, and you got to learn the difference between confidence and arrogance, because when you're someone like me, you'll think bossing up, showing up, letting people know what you have, you'll immediately think it's being arrogant. No, it's not. Arrogant is, think Donald Trump. In order to make myself appear better and bigger, I got to put you down. No, if me just walking in my gifting and believing in who I am and like stating that, and you guard that, you got your blinders on, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, then I'm doing my job. As long as I'm not putting you down and saying, well, you know what, I'm the diva and it's only one space and Angie, you good or whatever, but you know, I try to like throw shade at her. As long as I'm not doing that or putting her down or making her feel like it only can be one me, that's arrogance. But if I'm shining my light, and when you shine your light, you're gonna have a lot of people gonna become jealous of you, who are gonna become envious, who are gonna feel uncomfortable. That's on them, y'all. That's not you. That's their issues. You gotta become comfortable with that, because you have to, like, how would people know that you can help them, or you got the solution, or you got the juice, if you don't let them know? Mm-hmm. And that makes people feel a little uncomfortable. Like, I gotta be like, hey, I'm your solution because I can help you do. You have to start doing. It's like you kind of got to get your swag on a little bit, and it feels uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, I got to talk about myself. Oh my gosh, that feels uncomfortable. That's not what it's about. It's about letting people know. And you got to remember, people are drawn to successful people. People are drawn to confident people. Think if somebody stood up before you and they weren't confident, you gonna be ready to throw the tomatoes at them. Like, oh damn. But if they're like, you know what I'm saying, my name's, you know, so I'm gonna be yo. We laugh at those guys, but the confidence gets you, right? You gotta have confidence in, and you gotta believe in God, right? But to believe in God, you gotta believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's the big thing. And I will leave you with this, that people who are struggling with believing in themselves, you gotta become a person that you can believe in first. Think of somebody you admire and why you admire them. And I'm going to tell you, if you admire someone, the things about them that you admire are the things about you that you can do and you can achieve. You will never admire something that you can't become or that you don't desire to become. So whatever it is in them, hey, she's always speaking. There's a part of you that wants to speak. Or that person gets a lot of clients and they're having a lot of impact. It's a part of you that desires that. You're only going to desire what's in you. And if you see something you're a little envious, is that something you desire to do? But for whatever reasons, you're not doing it. You're not showing up. So just realize, take that as a sign, like, wow, I desire to speak. I didn't realize that about me, you know. So we could go on and on. We will definitely be back tomorrow. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this show about how to fulfill your dreams. It's not something you can talk about in just 1 hour. There's so many different levels to it, but I don't want you being a reason that's holding you back. All right. So Angie, one final word. We're gonna then I'm gonna ask you to close us out in prayer. We're gonna tell you what we have going on. So Angie, do you have one final word? Just encouraging them.
Dream big. Dream big. I mean, that just goes without saying. You know, write the vision, make it plain. Whatever it is that you see, make it where people laugh. You know.
A dream that makes people laugh. And I'm gonna tell you, be patient, trust the process, put those blinders on, and when you think you're messing up, keep going. Because if you give up, you're gonna look back and be like, dang man, I was actually in a groove. But you're gonna give up, then you gotta go back on over again. But it's all good because each day God gives us new mercies every single day. So I am Shalena Diva, the Purpose Driven Diva. My headquarters is shalenadiva.com. Everywhere online, I'm at Shalena Diva. So Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, wherever, I'm at Shalena Diva, Shalena Diva. And the Diva stands for Discover, Invest, Value, and Appreciate Your Life and Business. Okay. So I have a few things going on. One is my ultimate online biz launcher. Check out my baby, bits.ly/biz launcher. Listen, things still aren't popping for you. So if I'm wondering why things still aren't popping for you, because you need to start investing in things that actually give you steps on how to do things. So the biz launcher is definitely that. I will type that in the comments.
Yes.
Yeah, check that out. So I think I might be frozen. So Angie, where can they find you? And yeah, where can they find you at? And what do you have going on?
Okay. Did you see me holding up my biz launcher? I was just letting them know I'm invested.
All right, thank you for that. It got it. There we go. Okay, yeah. It got a little frozen. So go ahead, Angie.
Okay. My name is Angie Lee on Facebook, and I am on Instagram, Angela Celeb _blogger. That is where you find me on Instagram. And I am also doing a class that's teaching you the 10 top distinctions between a millionaire and middle class. And I want to help you identify the middle class, some of those habits that you have that we were taught down from great grandmama that we need to stop. And so I'm doing that class, and I started on $20, and it'll be for the rest of the week. And it's millionaire. I just paid it up, but it's the millionaire, top millionaire. It's bit.ly/10 tips, the number 4 middle class. Sign up, go ahead and join, because I want this class to be packed, because I want us to help you identify some of the things, the reason why you have become stagnant, and the reason why so many people are cashing their paychecks at a convenience store, and what's wrong with that. So those are some of the little things that I will enlighten you on. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. We had someone in the chat, Lavinia, and she was talking about how she had a fear of stepping out and motivating people because of where she was, but she got started motivating people today. But her testimony is she began motivating people through social media, and it felt great. Listen, everybody has to start somewhere. Every master was once a disaster. Everybody got to start somewhere. And tomorrow we can talk about some of the ways some people get started. And it's not so much fake it till you make it, but there are some people who just believe in what they believe in so much, they're willing to stake everything on it, and you will be so surprised. So Lavinia said, I just felt a release off of my spirit by letting go and being me. Yes, just let go, be you. And there are people who truly need you. So thank you, Lavinia, for tuning in, and thank you for letting us know. All right, all right, all right. So Angie, if you can close us out in prayer, my love, that would be great.
Okay. All right. We're going to the throne, and we're gonna say everybody who's on this line today, hopefully that you, even if you didn't have a dream, that you have some kind of idea or inkling of what it is that you want. And I want to just pray for endurance right now. I want to ask God to give you strength to endure. Dear Lord, my Heavenly Father, as we have come to the end of the call, dear God, but not to the end of you or reaching out to you to build a strong relationship. I hope that the seeds that Shalena and I have planted, dear God, that it take root into somebody that's on the line. Dear God, we're doing a special shout out to the people that's on, but especially our sister Lavinia, dear God, that didn't consider it robbery to share her testimony. Dear God, let her know that it's through her trials and tribulations, God gonna use her mess in order to transform it into a message to heal other people, dear God. So we thank you for that. Dear God, we want to thank you for the ability to endure, to withstand hardship, overcome adversities, over stress, over demand, over the God naysayers, over the God being stagnant, over the process of being fearful. They go over hatred. They go give us the knowledge, teach us how to be persistent. They go so we can separate from those who are naysayers in their holy righteous name. Amen.
Amen. So everybody, we will see you tomorrow. And we're blessed to have Angie with us for the rest of the week. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Make sure you bring your friends. See you later. Have a great day. Peace out.
Bye.